Hello everybody, Mark here, and today I'm going to do a few things. It's not going to be a cookery video, it's going to be more of a... I'm going to do a bunch of shout outs and answer a question that a number of people have been asking. Namely, yesterday's video I commented that about me Brussels sprouts and my training days when I was younger, and people have expressed an interest in looking at the seeing the photo. I got one photo of me back in the days when I used to train. So what I'll do, I'll do a few shout outs. I've got so many on there today. I can't really go through and answer every single question. So I'll just go through the bullet points on some of them that I can remember, and just basically, you know, give you a shout out and thank you for your comments, whoever did. Let me see. We've got The Real Matthew Early, Paulie 420, The Rascal 5678, Dave Dump. Now some of these are questions or comments on the training, some of them are on the cider reviews, and some of them are just comments in general. Okay, Dave Dump. Oh, Pete Thomas. If you want to see his channel, just click onto his icon. He does a food review or a food cookery channel. Pete Thomas. Let me see. Phil and Pat McCracken. Phil and Pat McCracken. There we go. He asked for a shout out. There you go. Del Trotter. Actually, he commented on my. I did a shaving tutorial. Basically, but not everybody knows how to. So I did that was a while back. Del Trotter, The Ghost of Bob Hope, and then Hammy Cats 69. Okay, so yeah, there was a few comments, some just general points, questions on the training. Alison Mahoney asks, is there any food that I don't like? Well, there's a few foods that I don't particularly like, but as an adult I can get over that, and I eat a lot of the foods that I don't particularly like. They taste off purely because the nutritional value, but there's two that I absolutely can't go near. One of them is Marmite. I've never been able to go with the taste or the smell even of Marmite. My God. I just can't go anywhere near that. And the other one is coffee. Now, I don't like the flavour of coffee foods or coffee sweets, and if I accidentally take even a mouthful of coffee drink, I'll be sick for the next 4 to 6 hours. I've done that accidentally 2 or 3 times in my life. I've been, you know how it is, you're at work and you're at the table, you're reading the paper, you reach for your drinking chocolate and you pick up somebody's cup of coffee. I've done that, had a swig, one mouthful, and that's it. I'm for the next half an hour I'm necking down as much water as I can, and I just feel sick for a good 4, 5, 6 hours. I feel like I'm going to puke, I feel like strangling somebody, you know, it just I don't know what it is. It can't be the caffeine, because I've had caffeine energy drinks, I've had Coca-Cola, I like all those. Just something in coffee that will make me sick to my stomach. So, Alison Mahoney, I hope that answers your question. Now, there's been a few people, I'm going to talk about a little bit of my training days, but there's people are asking about the photograph, and you know, somebody asked me, I can't remember who it was, asked me to explain about my training days. Now what I'll do, I'll show you the photograph. Now this was in June 1995, which I was born in June, so that would be the month of my 25th birthday. So there you go. I'll hold this up there just for a few seconds. You can pause anywhere along there. I was 25 in this photograph. There we go. I hope that you can catch that on the light. Anyway, yeah, I was 25, but at this point I was training for a year and a half I don't know, a year and a half or so I was training there. Anyway, okay, so you can pause that if you need. Now, although I don't do that much training now, I still do sometimes what they call resistance training. You know, a little bit. You know, now and again, while I've got a few minutes. It's what I used to do. It's similar to what you might see the Chinese doing. I think it's the Chinese. That Tai Chi, you know, that slow motion, but I would do it as if I'm actually working a machine, you know, because, you know, if you've got like that, it's called a bull worker, a big spring with a bar, if you can actually, you know, you bend and then there's a big spring. You can do that without actually the bar. You just imitate as if you're doing that, you know, compress the muscles. Same with the pec deck, you can work those, you can actually do shoulder press, you know, like flyers, you know, as if you're holding a dumbbell. You know, basically you're just putting pressure on the muscles here, just working the, you know, you don't need weights as such, although they are a big help. But if you want to get toned, then you can do these things. Just force the muscles to act as if they are carrying a heavy weight. Anyway, so, but yeah, I did that for several years when I was 25. That photograph was about a year and a half or so in. But basically, I'll try and keep this to 10 minutes. See if I, you know, so I'll talk a bit quicker. It takes so much dedication, let me tell you. It's not something. I mean, don't believe these articles. They're full of shit. You read them in the paper. Get a body like this guy. You see a young bodybuilder guy. Get a body like this with absolutely no exercise. You just take this pill or drink this potion. It's all shit. You cannot get like that without proper weights, proper training, and lots of it. And you've got to cut out the chocolate, you've got to cut out the kebabs, cut out the booze, cut out the smoking if you know. It's solid hard work. You gotta go in there 3 times a week, sometimes more. You got to do at least an hour. Sometimes I would do an hour and a half. Very rarely 2 hours. That was just too much sometimes. But no less than an hour, up to an hour and a half. That was pretty much the 2 timelines I used to go into. And solid, heavy weights. You know, there's tricks you can do. It's like a pyramid thing. If you look on a chart, for example, heavy, you would lift light weights. Sometimes what I used to tell people was ridiculously light weights. You know, like 1 kilo. You know, you do lots of reps with those, maybe 30, 40, 50 reps. Okay, and then what you do is you would put them down. You would increase the weight, but decrease the reps. You know, so you increase the weight to 5 kilos and do 20 reps. Increase it to 15 kilos and do 5 reps. And then go from 15 to, you know, say go higher, but do 3 reps at a time and have a break. Do 3 reps, have a break. Do all kinds of things. I don't know whether anybody would be interested in that, but as for nutrition, I used to eat lots of pasta, potatoes, lots of different types of fish, everything from fish fingers to fish, battered fish, any kind of fish, tuna fish. Now this is back in the days when you could buy a can of tuna for like 30p from Aldi or Lidl's. Oh man, it was crazy. You could buy eggs. Eggs were dirt cheap. Not like now, where they're you know, you pay £1 a box for 6 eggs. You pay like £1 for a tin of tuna. You know, it's madness. But in those days, you know, so and yeah. I mean, 2 pints of milk a day. Well, I've actually done a milkshake video right here. And I had somebody who I work with come around, Godfrey. He was here doing the filming and stuff. And what it basically entails: 1.5 pints to 2 pints of milk, 6 eggs, a couple of bananas. You put some ice cream in there for flavour. You can put honey, oh, and also you throw in some carbo powder or protein powder. Or if you're really into it, you throw in a bit of both, but usually it's one or the other. And you know, that would come out. You come out with about 2.5 pints of milkshake. I'll be drinking one of those pretty much every day. At least, you know, out of the 7 days, possibly 4 to 5 times. Not every single day, but it's and I'd have to drink it over the sink case because you really feel like you're going to throw up. You know, it's difficult to drink that much thick milkshake, and I'd have to go lay down for an hour before and then go to work because I was working night shift. But anyway, yeah, lots of pasta, lots of meat, steak, pork chops, chicken especially. Not so much bacon, not so much gammon. They're kind of, you know, salty and fatty. Lots of tuna, 2 pints of milk every day. Plus you got water when you're training. Lots of bananas, you know, either eat them with a milkshake or on their own. It's, yeah, you know, and pretty much plenty of it. The trick is, because I was, I mean, I'm approximately 16 stone now, which I'm, you know, fairly comfortable with this, you know, with the weight. But in this photograph, believe it or not, I'm actually 12.5 stone there. You know, it's amazing. I mean, I don't know what waist I was, probably like a 34 waist, I guess. 32, 34. I don't know what the measurements were of the upper body. I never really sort of monitored that. But I know the weight I did, and there I can tell you my heaviest when I was training was 12.5 stone. You know, so I'm heavier now. But I still got a lot of yeah. I notice, you know, there's still, especially in the biceps and triceps and the shoulders, I still have that. You never really sort of lose that, I guess. You know, I mean, I eat. I try and eat a balanced diet with veg and protein. My job isn't particularly physical, although I have done physical work where I've been working in digging up patios and whatnot. Over the last while, you know, and you know, you got one of those big machines with a pole on with a spike on the end too. You know, like those guys digging the roads. Only I'd have to, you know, to dig up the tarmac, I'd have to have that shoulder height because I'm trying to bring down a chimney. Anyway, so I mean, you imagine how that's a machine that's like 3-4 foot long, and then it's got 1.5 foot of pole, a spike, holding that above your head. You know, things like that. So you don't really sort of lose any muscle mass. You still have muscle memory as such. Anyway, I hope I'm not boring everybody too much, but I was asked to speak a little bit of it. But you know, if anybody has any further questions on anything I've said, by all means write to me. I probably won't bore anybody with another video, but I'll try and answer your questions if you have any things you want me to elaborate on, or any points you're not clear on. You know, just write to me. Okay, anyway, I'll get busy with this. I've got to make some dinner yet, right? It's going to be, the next dinner is going to be pasta with sauce. You know, anyway, it's going to be pasta with sauce, which was one of my staple dinners. You know, actually, that's the thing. Talking about dinners, when I used to go to work, oh boy, I used to. This is when I was working in a big factory, and we had a proper canteen, not like nowadays, so they don't give you a bugger all. Because we had a proper canteen, and I was eating, because there was about three or four of us who used to train, so we pretty much hung around together, and yeah, I mean, personally, I was eating 2 dinners. You know, everybody's eating like the meat, pork chop, vegetables, stuff on it. I was eating 2 dinners, and I was eating 1 or 2 puddings, and I would have like 2 or 3 bananas to last me from dinner until home time. You know, about an hour or 2 after dinner, I'd have the bananas, and then an hour or 2 after that, I'll be going home, and then I'll be able to eat something at home. Oh man, it was crazy days. The amount that I used to eat was insane, you know. And the trick is, if you want to gain weight, which was my objective at the time, you have to. I mean, I used to eat sort of big, fairly even-sized dinners, but they're a lot more than a regular person. Okay, but you would eat you eat small amounts, but plenty. That's why you hear bodybuilders just say, oh, you know, they eat 6, 7, 8 meals a day. What that is they're eating small amounts. That's what they are. They're not eating 6 regular dinners that you might eat. They're eating 6 small portions. You know, basically every 2 hours, you've got to keep eating. Because it's amazing when you get to that size, and when your body gets used to exerting that much energy, you just go through the calories. You've got to eat almost constantly. Oh boy. Anyway, I hope that I haven't bored you too much. But yeah, like I say, you know, write in the comments anything you want to know about. And but yeah, I mean, those days are over for me now. I was 25 then. There's no way, you know, break my back if I was trying to do any of that lot now. But yeah, you know, but different things. I used to do sit-ups with you ever see those barbell big plates? They're the size of a manhole cover. You know, you got different weights, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25s. I used to put like 15 or, you know, even 2 10s on my chest and do sit-ups like that. You know, we used to do that in what was called a Roman chair. It's like you do sit-ups, but you're basically on your back with your knees toward your chest, and you do sit-ups, and you can twist. But yes, to do that, I'll hold 2 of these barbell plates on my chest and do that. You know, things like that. I mean, it's all you know. A lot of it is just inventing new stuff. You know, because you've got a lot of machines in there, but free weights are the best option. And you know, I mean, a lot of it you can do at home. Before I joined the gym, I used to do tricep exercises on the side of the bath. Basically, you got your back to the bath, you put your hands on the side of the bath, you put your feet on a chair or a bedside cabinet, drag that in the bathroom, put your feet up, and then you lower yourself down, you know, with your, you know, exercise. Anyway, I'm waffling on like crazy. It's been 17 minutes. Anyway, so thank you for listening, and I hope that answers all those people who wanted to hear about that. And I hope that wasn't too boring. All right, well, thank you for listening. All right, bye-bye.